So I'm sitting here at my dining room table because I thought that this would be kind of a good picture to talk about membership. Membership at Mosaic. What does that mean? Why would we do that? And I think about the dining room table, right? This is where my family gathers. This is where we share meals together, where we talk about what was great about our day, what was not so great about our day. This is where I learn what my kids like on their pizza and what they don't like on their pizza. This is where we see kind of maybe some of the ugliness and messiness, but also the beauty. This is where we laugh together. This is where if you look at the table itself, you can see leftovers, unfortunately, from some of the meals that we've had, some Play-Doh and markers and things that are still in here. It's messy at the table, but it's the place and the source of life. And so when I think about membership at a church, at a local church, this is the picture that I have. It's having a seat at the table, being present for some of the most important moments in the life of this church family, the family of Christ. And so there's a few different reasons why we decide to become members of a local church. One is biblical, right? As Jesus has shown us his commitment to the local church, we embody that. We show that as we also, in following Jesus, commit ourselves to a local body. Culturally, there's a reason, and in this time, as we talk about all the time at Mosaic, about this time of individuality, right, in our culture, when we commit to be a member of the local church, we push back against that culture, show them something different. Practically for us as leadership, as the pastors, it's huge to kind of know who's on my team. When I know who is a member, who said, yeah, I'm in, it's so helpful to know when there's times of crisis, when there's times of growth, to know who is it that I can call? Who is it that's all in with us? And then also, why to become a member? There's this amazing opportunity for spiritual growth. Because as we get close to people, as we sit at the table, people can see all of the great things about us and all the things that maybe aren't so great. And so we get an opportunity to learn from. We get an opportunity to have other people extend us grace. We get an opportunity to extend grace and love to others as well. So those are some of the reasons of why you might be a member. But when you become a member at Mosaic, you're moving kind of from something to something else, right? You're moving from someone who's consuming, right? Who's maybe just coming and experiencing great music and phenomenal teaching, of course, right now. You're coming and receiving and now going, okay, well, what is it that I can give? See, membership at Mosaic it's not like a membership like at the gym where you pay your dues and you show up and you receive something. No, membership is really more like partnership. You're signing up to be a part of this community and this family. So again, back to thinking about being at the table, we have different roles too. We have people who clean up after. We have people who set the table. We have people who make the meal. We all have a part. And so we think about when we become members of the local church, we go from consumers to radical givers. And how is it that we can give back into this community with our time, with our finances, with our different abilities? How is it that we can do that to advance God's kingdom? We also think about going from someone, again, who's really a spectator to a member of the family, to someone where people know our names. They know what's happening in our lives. We know what's happening in their lives. It's not just that kind of casual, oh, hey, how you doing? It's really being invested as a member of the family. And families are where some of the most joy happens and some of the most mess and some of the most difficulties. But yet that's what we were created for. We believe that as the church, we're meant to function as an extended family, and becoming a member is a step in that process. And so who is it then that can be a member? What do you have to do? What do you have to know about yourself? Well, one, you need to believe in Jesus. To be able to say, yes, Jesus is Lord. I want to follow after Jesus with my life. I want to continue to learn what it means to follow after him with everything that I have. And so when you do that, we want you to also be baptized. If you were baptized at another church, great. If you haven't yet been baptized, we'll talk to you about that and see when a good time for you to be baptized is. You need to be somebody, though, who's willing to have meaningful participation in this community, right? Where it's not just showing up and leaving, but being regularly a part of our worship services, whether that is digital, whether that's in person, figuring out, okay, how is it that you can serve? How is it that God has gifted you? And how is it that you can bring that to the church body? What is it even that God is calling you that we can support you in outside the walls of the church? We also need to think, okay, if I'm a partner in this, not just a member, what can I get? Well, there has to be some sort of giving too, financially, of going, I'm going to help support this thing. Because this is my thing. I have a part to play in this. So that's kind of who. And then really practically, you'll fill out a form with some information. It will come to me. We'll take it to our leadership team and we'll be in touch with you. We'll meet with you, hear a bit of your story. Why is it that you would want to become a member? And then you get affirmed at a members meeting. And that's what we have. About quarterly, we have members meetings where you come and you hear, okay, what is kind of the next step in our church journey? You would have been one of the first ones to hear that new churches are being planted in Sunnyside. You would have been one of the people who gets called upon to figure out, how do we navigate this pandemic? So that's what happens at those membership meetings, is as we talk about what is it that God's doing in the life of the church. And then, as a part of the Evangelical Covenant Church, that's our denomination, it's not just a top-down leadership thing. I'm not coming into those meetings going, okay, this is what we're going to do. No, instead, there's conversation. Again, you're seated at the table. You have a voice and a vote. And so there are different things throughout the year that you will have an opportunity to speak up on, ask questions about, and actually cast your vote that matters. Where sometimes we might slow down on some things. Sometimes we might speed up on some things. But you actually, again, have a seat and a voice at the table. And so that's kind of the process of how it looks, is there are these quarterly meetings that you do need to make every effort to be present at. And annually, because of the influx in and out of New York City and how transient it can be, we ask our members to kind of re-up every year, giving them an opportunity to go, you know what, my job has taken me out of the city. And so I need to step down from membership at this point. So it's an annual commitment to say, yes, I am. I'm rooted and I'm a member in this community. I'm choosing to covenant with, to partner with, to come and have a seat at the table with this community. And so I hope that you decide to pursue membership at Mosaic in this time, in this city, with us.